This currently is not working out. It did not grip very well and kind of mangled it up. I've got the tool set back up nice and tight. I'm gonna heat up the outside diameter, basically where this slides into the crankshaft, so hopefully we'll expand that out a little bit. All right, this guy is starting to come out now. Come on, dude. No. Nope, just getting more mangled. Great. I just pulled out all the bearings, so hopefully now we can grab onto the inner race. I think the bearings were just falling apart. All right, we get this set up without the bearing inside. It is gripping much better. You can see it kind of coming out there slowly but surely. Oh, it's coming out real nice. Perfect. It's out. It's out. Totally didn't fall or anything. I just placed it on the ground gently. But here she is. Our bearing's out. Here we are. We'll clean this up a little bit. Looking good. Feeling good. All right. Now we have to go into the Legit Streetcars freezer for our new part. Right here. She's frozen. Using a good quality new bearing made in the USA. Because we froze it, it is slightly smaller. Should fit in much easier. A couple love taps with a mallet. It's already going in. Freezing makes a big difference. And now we have our seal/bearing driver. We're done. Oh, that feels perfect. Couple love taps for the kids.
Nibiru is having a sale right now to reach the 25 million people with untreated hearing loss. This 70%.
Oh yeah. Next is our new rear main seal. It comes pre-lubricated, and sometimes they give you a white plastic tool to help roll this lip around the crank, but sometimes they don't. And you kind of got to do one of those. I like to use this tool here. Actually, I don't know what it's called. It removes O-rings really nicely. It does a lot of things. And we'll just kind of go around and make sure this is fitting around the crank nice and nice. Like that. With the screw removed from our old rear main, we can flip it around and use this as a tool with a nice clean block of wood. It totally doesn't have RTV on it for some weird reason. This will help us get it in there nice and centered. Alright, she's going in. I think this is pretty flush right now, so we'll go around double check. 10.89, 10.82. You don't have to be spot on, but that's really good. So that is done. Remains done. Our pilot bearing is done. We're moving on, people. We're moving on to new shiny parts. If you guys saw my series on putting that sweet Magnum F T56 transmission in my Turbo Trans Am, you know that I love the McLeod clutches. So I went with another twin disc. This is their RST line, and this is the pressure plate. We have a brand new flywheel, and you can see we have one clutch disc and two clutch discs. So the big benefit of the dual clutch is surface area. We're gonna have double the surface area, so this clutch will be able to hold about 800 horsepower, but our pedal feel will be the same. You don't have to apply any more force. If anything, this might feel lighter than stock. It really is the best of all worlds getting a twin disc, especially from McLeod, because they have these things down perfectly. When I drive the Trans Am, it feels 100% stock, but the clutch in that one will hold even more horsepower. We went with a beefier unit than this, 1200 horsepower. So McLeod has really anything you need. I'll drop a link. They're awesome. The guys over there are really fun to talk to. They're real car guys. Our first step is to install our beautiful new flywheel. All right, shiny new flywheel going on. And let's get a bolt in here just to hold it. And I didn't go back together with the slinger. This thing is destroyed. I could not find a new one anywhere. I read online that the rear main seals have been revised to not need the slinger. On my SVT Lightning, it originally had this. I couldn't find it for that either. No leaks whatsoever. So we're going without it. I mean, the rear main should do its job in holding the oil in there. Now we are going to use ARP bolts to hold in our flywheel. ARP sells a special fastener assembly lubricant. And what you want to do is put this on the back side of the head of the bolt. This is going to reduce friction when torquing, and you don't need that much. That's good right there. We'll save the rest for the next bolt. And then we're also going to use Loctite. So this is going to go on the threads, and you're not mixing the two together. This is going to make sure it stays in there, and this is going to make sure it's torqued properly. Now we can put this one in and pull this out. This is just a placeholder. I had like a temp job, but it's going back in like now. With all of these hand tight, we're going to do two passes. One's going to be 35 foot-pounds, and we're going to do a crisscross pattern. Our final pass is going to be 70 foot-pounds. All right, and then more cowbell. I'm going to mark these so we don't forget, and then we'll keep going with the crisscross. So, marky mark. With our white marks all the way around, we are done. And because I'm a child, I'm going to draw a little smiley face in here. And we're going to nickname him Fred. I don't know why. Fred loves Fords. I'm going to give him some like Halloween teeth. I'm Fred. Let's give him a head. There's my head and my hair. Let's do a little Ford, a little blue oval. There we go. That's my artwork, people. I did fail art. Actually, the teacher passed me because they didn't want to fill out any paperwork, but I should have failed art. Well, hang on, I might have to ruin some of this. I got some brake clean and a rag. I just have to clean up the flywheel here. Fred, you're totally losing your hair, bro. Sorry. Yeah. Fred's bald now, but he still likes his board. It is time for our first clutch disc. These are labeled. So we have the bottom disc, and then we flip it over, it says flywheel side. So this one's gonna go first. And look at the quality tool that McLeod gives you. This is amazing. So this is gonna be our clutch alignment tool. We're gonna go ahead and spline the teeth like that. And then this end right here is specifically designed for our new pilot bearing. So that's gonna slide in like that. Bottom this out all the way, and that's gonna hold our clutch in perfect alignment. Next is this beautiful piece, the adapter ring with the floater. This can go on a few different ways, so you just have to line it up with the holes in the flywheel. And so it'll only work one way, and there are dowels. I think I got it. Yeah, this should be it. Just gonna start a bolt right here and one up top just to make sure we have this perfectly lined up. With that holding it in, we can see the rest of the bolts are lined up, and so are the dowels. There's one there, I have one up there, and one right here. Make a mark where the dowels are, and now we're just gonna remove this. Included in the kit are 3 dowels that look just like this. This is literally one of them. Bigger side's gonna go in the flywheel. I hammered in all the dowels, so that's all set. So now it's time for this adapter, and I just want to show you something that I messed up on. Each one of these studs has a few shims. You can see right here, they come off, and it looks like there's a total of 2 on each. When I put this down, I didn't notice that, and I actually put it down the other way on the studs, and they all fell out. I'm like, oh man, was this like perfectly balanced and aligned? And I emailed McLeod and they saved me here. Basically, each one of these is gonna have 2. One is thin and one is thick. And as long as they turn out to be about 35 thousandths each, you're good to go. So disaster averted there. 35 thousandths worth of shim on each stud. It may be...
Whoever invented this deserves a raise. Are you still putting furniture together with one of those Allen wrenches? Turning and turning, wasting time and wreck.
different, so just don't flip yours over. Just leave it alone. All right, now with our super awesome alignment tool, we can go back together with our clutch disc, like so. Now that we have our dowels in, we can do our final installation of the adapter. There's 3 dowels, so you're probably gonna give it a wee bit of persuasion. These washers fly off on you. 35 thousandths, people, 35. I gave these bolts the same treatment with the Loctite and the Moly Lube. Tighten them to 45, and I'm holding the crank as well. There we go. Before our second and final friction goes on, we're just gonna brake clean this surface here. And this says top side and flywheel side, so it goes on like that. Come on now. There we go. Love this aluminum tool. Now, if you see here, there is a blue line here and a blue line here. All that has to line up, and this is the pressure plate going on. Next, we have a lock washer and then a nut, and we're not using Loctite per the instructions, so that's it. It's going on dry. McLeod gives you the best colored instructions ever. I hate when I get aftermarket parts with no instructions. I mean, they give you the torque specs, they give you everything, even the star pattern in their specific sequence. That's really nice. So right now we are drawing these in. So we went 1 o'clock, 7 o'clock. So we're basically just gonna get these to bottom out, just going around nice and even. All right, once they bottom out, now we're gonna go 25 foot-pounds, star pattern. All right, we'll keep going. All right, I went around at 25, and now our final is 35, not much more. With everything torqued, we can remove the most beautiful clutch alignment tool in the world, and you get to keep this like it's yours. It goes in your toolbox. It's so nice. That's it, guys. That's it. Well, actually, I mean, the next step is technically taking a straight edge to make sure that these fingers are below the pressure plate, which I don't really need a straight edge. I got a straight hand. They're definitely below, so we're all set. Everything seems even, and we have successfully installed a twin disc clutch on my 2003 Cobra with 13,000 miles. I never have low mileage cars, so I have to just keep telling myself that. With the clutch done, we have to do a little bit of internal transmission work, just a little bit. So this is a T56 transmission. The T56 was used a lot, so 4th gen Camaros, Corvettes, and Mustangs. But one of the weirdest things they did to the 0304 Cobra was only use a 10 spline input shaft when a much stronger 26 spline input shaft was available. So this is what we're going to be installing inside of our transmission, and a sweet little short throw shifter. So even the LT1 Trans Ams that came out in the 90s, some of them had the 26 spline. All the LS1 cars, again, came out in 98 on those. This came out in 03, and they went backwards. Makes no sense. And these cars had way more horsepower and torque. Ford, what are you doing? Did you get a good deal on 10 splines that were all left over? And they're like, come on, it fell off the truck. I'll give them to you, $10 each. Anyway, while we're in there doing a better clutch, we got to get rid of this. First step to this job is we need to get our clutch fork out of the way. And for that, we're actually just going to pull down like that. And then this will slide right off. We will be replacing the throwout bearing, even though it's Okay, now we have a few bolts to remove. I did drain the trans, but we'll probably lose some fluid. With the bolts out, we can use a mallet now. This is sealed with RTV, so it might be kind of stuck. There we go. All right, perfect. This little shimmy sham, and I'll hold this input shaft in there while we take this cover off. Everything doesn't just fall right out. Okay, what do we got? Ooh, the internal workings of our transmission. Cool. All right, so this is what we're replacing. We have a blocker ring here that is gonna stay with the transmission, so we'll just gently pull this out. All right, perfect. Okay, see, this blocker wants to fly out of there. Stay in, blocker. Okay, she's coming out for now. And here we go. Here is our old input shaft with our gear. You can take a look at the teeth here that mesh into the synchros. Actually looking pretty good. Gears look great. Bearing does too. It's in good shape, but we're replacing it. Bye-bye. Here you can see our new 26 spline versus the 10 spline. And other than that, they should be identical in every way. So there's a few companies that sell this as an upgrade kit with the bearing on there and everything. It's really nice. But there are shims involved here. We do have to take some measurements. And that measurement would be from the bearing down 2.825. I'm hoping this is the same. 2.826. Okay, wow. It's pretty close. So on a new shaft, this bearing is going to meet up with this race, of which we have a new one. It takes a little bit of persuasion, but you can actually remove this race by hand. Just got to get it just right. It's almost out. Come on. There should be a shim here, unless Ford was perfect. Sometimes you got to tap it back in. Just get it perfect. Come on. Get out. Oh, I think I got it. I got a little shimmy. Shimmy, 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 shimmy. Yeah, we got it. All right, so also in excellent condition. We could probably reuse this, but we got a new one. And yes, here is our shim. If you guys didn't see some of my engine building videos, just a little refresher. I like to write things down and remind myself as well, but we have ones, tens, hundreds, and thousands. So the difference between these two is 1/1000th of an inch. A piece of hair is like 4/1000ths of an inch. It's a tiny, tiny amount. Bearing clearance on an engine is usually 2 to 3 thousandths. And I did buy a shim kit so we can adjust this, but most of these shims are like 30 something thousandths of an inch, so too much of an adjustment. End play spec is 0 to 2/1000ths of an inch, so this is perfect. We're gonna go back together with the original shim. We should be fine. Before we go back together, we're gonna replace the input shaft seal. Should just pop out right. Okay, that was easy. All right, that just sits right in there. Give it a cleaning, and we have our brand new seal. We'll place it in like so, and with our seal driver, give it some love taps. Bam. She's in. Next, we're going to clean up the old RTV. This stuff is coming off pretty easily. No real need to use any power tools here. Look at that. That's...
Most people are too lazy to do this, but it saves homeowners a fortune. I worked in construction for 20 years now, and it shocks me how many people pay a fortune to upgrade their gutters when there are services like the Gutter Remodel Relief Service. As long as you own your home, you can apply for and get approved for an affordable gutter transformation within 2 minutes. You can click the button below and find out almost instantly if you're eligible. I've done this for hundreds of...
Nice. With our transmission cases cleaned up, we can start to reassemble. So original shim going back in, and then we'll get a little bit of trans fluid all the way around our race just to get it to go in easy. Slide this in. So this part doesn't require a press or anything. It's a really tight fit, but you should be able to get it in by hand. Maybe a couple little love taps, just little ones. There you go. It's going down. It's nice and easy. Don't force it. All right, this will sit right back down on the shim. You should be able to spin this freely so it's not bound up or anything. New seal. We're good. We're going to reinstall our blocker ring. All the synchro material I can see looks really good. This only goes on one way. There we go. Fits in like that. Stay. Just doesn't like to stay. That's its thing. Now we can install our new input shaft. Just going to hold everything together like that. Perfect. And we're temporarily going to install this without any RTV. I want to take one final measurement. Okay, a little shimming is required here. There's quite a few things to line up. There we go. Yeah, but you don't have to use a hammer to get these two together. That should be that easy. Everything is spinning nice. Let's get some bolts in here and I'll show you our last measurement. So with all the bolts tightened up, we have a dial indicator. This is a cool one. It comes with a vice grip because this is an aluminum case. So a lot of these come with magnets, but there's nothing to stick it to. But anyway, what we're checking here is the end play, and it's going to be 0 to 2/1000. So we're moving this back and forth to see if this moves, and I think we're good. It's not moving at all. We also have to feel how it spins as well, and that feels just like before. With our final measurement complete, we can lay down our RTV for final installation. And there wasn't a whole lot on here, so we're gonna go back together just like Ford did. Exactly like Ford. Can I write Ford in here? No, I can't. That'd be too tough. Bolts are back in and tight. We are all sealed up with our RTV. Looking good. Spins nice. And let's swap out this throw-out bearing. Really easy. Literally just slides right out. And our new one. There we go, slides right back in. I'm gonna put a little bit of grease here on the sleeve where the throw-out bearing is gonna ride, and some right here on this pivot ball. And now we can go back together with our throw-out bearing assembly. There we go. All right, we're all done. New throw-out. Everything's looking good. And this transmission does have a Hirsch shifter already, but I got the STX from Silver Sport Transmission. This one is supposed to be really short and feel great. This one puts the shifter in a really weird position. It's like too close to the radio. I don't like it. So it's just 4 bolts to remove this shifter. Love tap, just sealed with RTV. You know what, I'm gonna install the new shifter once this transmission's in the car. It'll make it easier to install the transmission. You could totally do your shifter without removing your transmission. It's literally gonna be right there with the 4 bolts. So that is almost ready to go in. I didn't forget about the old EGR, which oddly was welded at some point in time in its life, and was welded yet again. So Liam blew through it, but he was able to find a piece of exhaust in the shop and patched it. Well, I struggled a lot to get this EGR tube on. I don't recommend you do what I did by forcing this on. If you want, there are a few other kits online that claim to do the same thing and actually fit the EGR. This one is for no EGR. So if you want to save your EGR tube, don't get the kit I did. It seriously took an hour of us bending with a pry bar. It's horrible. I don't recommend that. It's time for our bell housing to go back in. Like that. Okay, we're lined up with our dowel. Oh yeah, that's it. All right, go side to side. Bell housing's all tightened up. I'm gonna go ahead and put this horrible starter in now. Okay, there's that. All right, here we go, people. Lower transmission going in. Oh my gosh, it's only been like 3 days, but I already cannot wait to drive this again with this new clutch. Come on in, buddy. He is in there. Let's see. Oh yeah. Very nice. That was really easy. This is why it helps to not have the shifter in. We were hitting the floor before. Take your shifter out, guys. It'll make your life a lot easier. There we go. It's time to put our shifter cable back in, so we have to pry just to get the cable to go in. There we go. Cool. Now hold itself. And then we just have a clip here. Okay. That is hooked up. And we can reinstall this little cover just as one little screw right here. Now we can tighten up this little screw. Our inspection cover is back on. Now we have to start plugging in our electrical connectors. Right there. Cross member going in. It's a little guy. Just gonna jack up the trans a little. There we go. Nice looking trans cross member, not gonna lie. Jealous. I've got all of these on my Trans Am stripped down from me taking it in and out a million times. Ford gives you a replaceable little piece here with the nut end built in. That's nice. Let's tighten this guy up. Now we can release the jack. Let her down. She's being held in by her own contraptions or force or something. I'm at a loss of words. Being held in by its own mounts. That's what I mean. It is big aluminum drive shaft time. Whoop. Around this way through our drive shaft loop. And put this slide in. Get in there. There we go. Perfect. Tighten these guys up. These are all tight, and yeah, we are gonna get rid of the nitrous kit in this video. Let's finish up the trans. This stuff's gotta go. And it makes no sense on this car, like at all. Next, we install our new shifter from Silver Sport Transmissions, and we just gotta get a little bit of RTV right on the top, like that. Here we go, holding the camera and totally doing a straight, not shaky line at all. All right, hang on. I'm putting the camera down for a minute. All right, that's slightly better. Now we can install our shifter, just like this. There we go, fits right on. Perfect. Oh, I can't wait to drive this car. Tighten up the bolts. There you go. Oh, the short throw is so short, guys. Yes. Oh man, that feels good. This is gonna be sweet. Get our rubber boot back on. Sweet. Okay, perfect. And that lines up right there. Time to install our shift knob and the boot and the whole assembly here. And a boot. All right, tightening up these 2 side bolts. All right, click, and now we can get our interior trim back together. It's an early 2000s / built in the 90s Ford, so this just all snaps together. Oh, yes. Are you kidding me?
I emphasize again, it is free to join my community. The stocks I share are also free. The techniques and strategies
Oh, this is mint, guys. This is mint. Sometimes a lot of this has to do with the shifter handle itself, but this shifter positioned it perfectly before. This was like almost touching the radio button in first gear. Was crazy, but now we're good. It's gonna tighten up this shifter ball, but that is mint. I love it. Wow. I'll leave you guys a link to the Silver Sport shifter. It is amazing. And those guys sell every transmission part you could ever need, especially for swaps. Now's as good of a time as any to fill up our transmission with automatic transmission fluid. Yes, that is correct. Dextron 3, that is what this transmission calls for. I've made a few videos on the T56 transmission taking this, and I pointed out that it literally is a sticker on it. I still get comments of people asking why I'm putting automatic transmission fluid in a manual. It's what it calls for. It's not my fault. So I'm using a fluid transfer pump to, well, transfer the fluid. That's what it does. I wish everything was just named by what it does. It's a transmission. It transmits power. Pretty good one. What are some other things that are basically named exactly what they do? Pump it up. Pump it up. Once it starts dribbling out, you are done. Before we install the exhaust, I want to replace that fuel filter. That's likely original. Kind of difficult to show you guys what's going on here while I'm working. There's no room. Let me put my hand in there. There's no room for anything. But anyway, got the fuel line loose. All right, here she comes. Wow, this is definitely original. I think I literally just wiped away the proof of that. It said Motorcraft. Oh, no, here we go. Here we go. Motorcraft right there. Let's see, can I wipe this away with gasoline? Yeah, that just disappears. Okay. Yeah, this is the original. Wow, look at that, guys. That is nasty. Whoa, 22 years. Yeah, even on super low mileage cars, you got to replace the fuel filter. That's really bad. I figure it's probably worse on a low mileage car because the gas is just sitting in here. This car was probably driven like 300 miles a year, if that, and it gets dirty. We're going back together with a brand new Motorcraft, made in the USA, water tested. Okay, I haven't seen that on a fuel filter in forever. Is that new? Going in, made in the USA. Come on, it's time for exhaust. Should be pretty easy. It comes apart in a lot of places, which is nice. All right, we got muffler and tailpipe section on the driver's side going in. Clutch.
Welcome to the Car Care in a Shop. This is a 2019 Toyota RAV4 with the E25A FKS. This engine, since 2018, has become super popular in a lot of Toyota models and Lexus models. In today's video, we're going to fix one of its common problems. They're actually starting to develop, ironically enough, front timing cover leaks. Thought we fixed that, Toyota, but here we are. This is a new thing with these. Not all of them are affected. I don't see them a lot, but this one is definitely leaking. Let's do this in this video. First, let's lift the car up, show you the leak, pull a few covers, we'll take a look at it. Then, we're gonna actually do this job in the car, and as we do that, we'll talk about a few things, and we'll go through the whole thing so you guys can see somewhat the internals of an A25A FKS right after this. Let's take a look at the leak. So if you come around, look all the way up through here. See all that oil? We trace it all the way up to the top. It's actually the very top of the timing cover. Not a huge leak, but it's a leak nonetheless. It's forming drops. The owner of this car actually has an extended warranty, which is that came to the saving grace. Otherwise, we would have told them, save up for it, just wait for it to get horrendous before we do something. But they are saying that there's a little bit of smell, like after a long drive you park the car, it just smells like burning because that area is very hot to the engine. So here's the plan. There's two ways to do this. You could just do it the long, easy way. Drop the subframe, engine, transmission down, do it calmly, right in front of you, wide open, super simple. Or you can do it in the car. I was planning to do it I usually take the long, easy way, because That way, this is how it's meant to happen. We don't have issues, things go smoothly. This one, we're not going to do that because the cradle that we use to hold the subframe and bring it down is tied up with another 2GR. So we'll take this